How are you doing? My name is Joseph Googie, one of the co-founders of the Pre-PT Grind, here with another episode of the Pre-PT Grind Chat Live. And if you are new to this page or new to our community, every Thursday night, Casey and myself, Casey being the other co-founder of Pre-PT Grind, Casey and myself, come into this group live and share with you a few things that we feel will be of value to you. I see Casey's live now. All right, but as he's coming on live every single Thursday night, we come into this group to drop some value for you, but really share a lot of advice and input. Joey, how you doing? All right, Casey, I see you on. How you doing, brother? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Am I coming through okay?
You are coming through loud and clear, brother. If I start going in and out, you just let me know, sir, and we'll make sure that we take care of it, man. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. I cracked a few backs in the clinic today, some lumbar, some
Ooh.
thoracic. So I'm feeling like a chiropractor today. I don't know what it was with the patients, but, threw a few laughs, back and forth. You know how it is. So it's a good day. Can't complain. Good day to be a PT.
I love it. I love it. All right. So tonight we have, for those that are joining this group for the first time or you have not necessarily been following us for a long time, tonight we are going to be talking about what you are preparing yourself for as a pre-PT. Every week we have a different topic. If there are certain things that you want to hear us talk about, feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to, message myself, message Casey, reach out to our team at contact.preptgrind.com. Just reach out to us, send us a message, and say, hey, I'd love to hear more about A, B, or C. And if we feel like it's something that would impact a lot of people in this group or a lot of other pre-PTs that might be feeling the same way, we'll make sure to address that live. Sounds good? All right. So let's begin. So Casey, tonight we're talking about what are we really preparing ourselves for as pre-PTs? Let's kind of lay the foundation. Casey, a lot of pre-PTs that are in this group are in different spots in their journey. Whether it's sorry,
I can hear you.
okay. So they're in different spots in their journey, which I don't know for some reason I like hear you talking in the background. It's crazy, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. I don't know
All
what it
right.
is.
Perfect. And so they're in different places in the journey. Some are applying right now or have applied and they're waiting for their interview. So some of our students are currently waiting for their interviews to start. Others are applying next year. Others are, they're in so many different places, but they just want to know, regardless of whether they're doing well on their journey or whether they have had a rough semester where they're not doing so well in classes, or they did not get accepted last cycle and they don't see that as something that they want for their journey. They just want to know, like, what is this in preparation for something? And we both understand, Megan, how you doing? We both understand, Frederick, how you doing? We both understand that every part of our journey is preparing us for something. And so, Casey, what are we preparing ourselves for as pre-PTs? And are we looking at our current situation in the type of light that would be important to look at it in order to become a successful pre-PT as we pursue physical therapy schools? What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah. So let's first talk about preparation itself. Like, I don't think you guys understand, but this thing called opportunity doesn't really waste its time with people who aren't prepared. Like opportunity does not waste its time with people who are not prepared. So whether it's getting into physical therapy school or finding your first job or trying out for the NBA, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's not gonna find you unless
Yes.
you are prepared for it. It's gonna pass you by and find somebody else who is
Hmm.
prepared, somebody else on this live stream who's been working harder than you, somebody on this in this group who has been prepping more than you because they might have been a little bit more hungry than you are at this time. So
Yeah.
that's what you have to be ready for. You have to be ready for your opportunity that's pretty much waiting for you on, I don't know, November 23rd when your interview is. So you have to be preparing for that now. Now, depending on where you are, you have to be preparing a little bit different, of course. I
Yeah.
know people are, at different spots in their journey, and that's what you were just
Sir.
talking about. But if you are, let's just say, 2 years out from applying, your main focus of preparation right now is things like your GPA and your observation hours. you have to see the end goal of being your interview day or being your acceptance letter day when it comes in the mail. You have to have that in mind so you are prepared for it when the opportunity comes. So right now
Agreed.
you need to be prepared on what you're doing at the moment. Because as we all know, people who are applying this year said, if I can just go back to that time when I was you, if I can just go back and retake that class and this and that, you are there now. You are there now
Mm,
taking that class. You are there now mid semester where you can make that difference and make that change where 2 years from now, you are not stuck in a poor situation where you have to retake and
mm.
reapply and stress and not be prepared. Your preparation has already started yesterday or a week ago. You're in that preparation right now.
Exactly.
So you're in
Exactly.
it. So that's what you have to be doing. If you're further down the line and you have to be preparing for an interview or your essay, that is your preparation right now. Just because you slacked off a little bit last year or the year before, you can't feel sorry for yourself because that time has already passed. You can't
Yep.
go back and change the grade. You can't go back and rewrite the essay. You can't go back and swindle that teacher or that physical therapist into writing you a letter or whatever. It's gone. So you have to prepare on what you're going through now because that next opportunity is focused on today's preparation. So that's kind of just the gist of it. I know we're going to go deeper into it as well, and if you guys have any questions, just drop them down. But that's my whole take on pre PTs and
Mm.
opportunity and preparation in general. What you got?
Well, I think the other thing is also like how long are, well, you just said it just doesn't wait, right? Opportunities don't wait. And so when something goes wrong, whether it's me not getting accepted, whether it's me not passing, getting a good score on my, standardized exam, GRE, whatever, class exams or whatever, like, am I waiting? Am I waiting too long as if something's just going to magically happen? If I'm in a semester right now and I'm trying to retake my GREs and I've waited until two exams where I haven't done well in the class, am I just still waiting? Or am I treating it as like this is a vital piece to me getting accepted? So I have to take the strides right now, or I have to make the moves right now that would get me closer there. It's the same thing with preparation. That's all it is. That's all it is. And the longer you wait, the less time you actually have to make that difference count. It's like a semester. If I'm taking a class and I get four exams, and I wait until after failing the first two to try to figure my life out, well, my chances of getting an A in that class have completely dropped because I waited. If I do it after my first quiz where I'm like, ooh, this is not going to be an easy class, okay, my chances of succeeding are that much higher. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with preparation. If I am preparing to get into PT school, the earlier I begin, the better. But more specifically, what is it that's the next milestone? Once you figure that out, if the next milestone is your interview, don't wait till the night before to be like, hey guys, what should I do for my interview? How should I prep for it? Because I can tell you there's a lot of other pre PTs that have done more preparation than one day. So you can't really do that. If your next milestone was an essay, okay, what are you doing now? Like, are you waiting until right before the deadline for the essay to try to figure it out? Or are you saying, well, I actually have 3 weeks. I realize now I have an essay. I have 3 weeks. Can I start it today? Can I start it tomorrow? Can I put myself in a position where I can actually have someone edit it and I can fine tune it? But I'm actually just accomplishing that and figuring out what the next milestone is. But you always have to ask yourself, what am I prepping myself for? And what's the action that's following that? You have to be very realistic about it. I'm sure Casey can tell it with his story, where after getting rejected the first time, he had to figure out very quickly what his action steps were going to be because he knew he knew he had to get accepted the next time. And because he knew that he also had to prepare for it. If Casey literally said, you know what, I did not get accepted, let me wait until the beginning of the next cycle, and then I'll try to figure some things out. I'll try to find someone better to do a letter of recommendation. I'll try to find, maybe I'll try to write a better essay. Maybe I'll look for a few more different schools. If he waited till then, well, him getting back into a program or getting accepted, those chances just go down. Like that's just math. That's not even like us just talking, random things. That's just honesty. That's what comes with preparation. understand what your next milestone is. If right now you're watching, because I know there's people in this group that are like, I'm not applying till 2019, I'm not applying till 2020. Amazing. You can still prepare now. You have to ask yourself, like, what right now do I have to start preparing with? Is it my semester? Are there certain things that I can be doing right now in my semester to give myself the best chance to have an amazing GPA for the schools that I want? It might not be the GRE yet. It might not be the application stuff yet. But for right now, are there certain things that I can do to prepare? If I'm taking a gap year, are there certain things that I can do to prepare myself to be a better applicant? Is it putting myself somewhere where I can practice working with people? Is it working at a restaurant? Is it caddying like Casey did? Is it figuring out how to communicate better? Is it pushing myself? Is it doing things I'm probably not going to get a chance to do later? Is it doing things that are a little different? We have interns that work for Pre-PT Grind that are pre-PTs that have figured it out. Some of them are in PT school now. But even when they were pre-PTs is when they began. And then they said, I want to set myself apart. Let me start doing things that are different. So when someone comes and says, I am the 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 director of blank for this group because they've started early doing it a little differently, it stands out. It stands out. If one of our interns just says, hey, I've been working with Free PT Grind and I handle all of their podcasts, we're at 72 episodes and this, that, okay, that stands out. It's a little different. But they're preparing not just to stand out, they're preparing to be able to time manage better. They're preparing on how to maybe handle their careers because every single episode has either us two speaking or a different guest. And so they're learning from them. They're learning how to intermingle with other people. They're learning how to influence people, whether it's on social media or in person. But they're preparing themselves for something. They're preparing themselves to be a better applicant because of how their resume looks or maybe how they communicate with someone at an interview or even the perspective they have as a whole. But what are you preparing for? Because if you don't know, then a group like the Pre-Doctor of Physical Therapy Students page, a platform like Pre-PT Grind, is just for motivation. It's just to kind of make you feel like you're doing something right or like make you feel like you're staying focused. But the reality is, unless you know what your next step is, then you can't adequately be preparing for what it's going to take for you personally to give yourself a good shot of getting accepted. Because you're just playing things in whatever order they come. Oh, let me try the GRE. I see everyone's doing the GRE. Oh, let me apply. Oh no, it's October. I didn't even know it opened up a few months ago. Or I mean, come on. Like now you're playing behind the eight ball and you're really putting yourself in a position to just guess. And guessing leads to shooting in the dark. Shooting in the dark leads to surprises. And most of the times those surprises are not the greatest. That's when we have students that say, hey, I've applied to PT schools 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and I'm getting ready to give up. And the honest truth is, it was never about their ability to get in. It was never about their passion to become a PT. It was never about how qualified they are as a person to become an amazing physical therapist. They just were never prepped. They never prepared properly. Casey, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, if there's anything that I've heard before that kind of encompasses what we're talking about today, it's this. It's the saying that give me 6 hours to chop down a tree. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll spend 4 hours sharpening the axe. So give me 6 hours to chop down the tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the
Yeah.
axe.
How you
I don't
doing,
even
Joey?
know.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, I don't even know if I need to go deeper into that or if y'all caught it or not. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree. I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. So
I mean,
just
let's
think
go even
about that
deeper.
and how it prepares you in the pre-PT world.
Let's even make it more pertinent to a pre-PT. Like how many how many pre-PTs can I even think of? I mean, let alone pre-PTs myself, where you're given a school project and you're given 3 weeks to accomplish it, and you're spending the night before doing it. Could you have done it the first night? Well, yeah. Would it have made your life a whole lot easier? Well, of course. But the honest truth is, so many things are always put in the back burner, kind of like what Casey just said. I'll spend the first 4 hours sharpening just sharpening the axe or the saw, however you want to cut down the tree, doesn't really matter. But I'll spend 4 hours wasting time. I'll spend 4 hours wasting time, and then the last two is when I'll kick it into gear. You give me 2 hours to cut the same tree, and I still get the job done. So maybe you're not living a life of necessity when it comes to preparation. Maybe you feel like you have all the time in the world, and if that's how you feel right now, well, let this be a fire that turning up the heat for you. Start looking at everything as a necessity. Start looking at how hard you have to work for the GRE starting now, starting last week, starting last month. Start looking at that as a necessity. Don't look at it as, well, this person actually took 2 weeks to study for theirs. I got about 3 weeks left. I might start tomorrow, but if I don't, I got 6 other days to kill. You see what's happening? Now you're setting yourself. I mean, who knows if you'll do well if you play the same thing, same way that person did. But if I have 4 weeks to do something, I would much rather get it done sooner and out of the way than have to wait till the last possible moment and have to play the I tried my best, but it didn't work out card. When in reality, deep down, half the frustration we feel is because we know we kind of screwed ourselves over. We're just not ready to admit it. But really, that's where it comes from. Prepare. Be intentional about setting time aside. Honestly, game map it out. Draw it out. Take a sheet of paper. Take your tablet, your computer, your phone. I'm not gonna say iPhone because I know some people are crazy and they got Androids and stuff like that. But really, use that to paint it out for yourself. Say, what are the things I still have yet to do before I get accepted? If it's the interview, okay, I got an interview in 2 weeks. Well, am I just chilling until 3 days before, and then I'll try to practice a few times with somebody, and then hope for the best and probably be super anxious because I don't feel prepared? Or can I use the time starting now to prepare? What can I do now to prepare? With everything, what can I do now to prepare? What can I do now to prepare? If you're waiting till the last possible moment, it's like exactly what Casey said. It's using the first 4 hours to sharpen the blade before actually taking the last 2 hours to cut down the tree. That's it. Casey, can you hear me?
That's it. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, man.
That's it. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. I think we can call it a wrap. Make sure you guys listen to the podcast episode. We had an amazing time with a faculty member from Northwestern University here in Chicago, actually with a dual program with a Master's of Health. So make sure you listen to it, tag your friends, share it out, because that is one you definitely don't want to miss. Then we got episodes Wednesday after Wednesday after Wednesday as well.
Yes, sir.
So check it out right now. Pull it up on iTunes or Libsyn. Give it a listen and give it a share as well. Pre-PT Grind podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it. You all have a great evening. We'll talk soon. Many blessings. And for those that are new to the group, welcome to the family. Bye.